Alrighty, I think I am alive in all of these platforms of face. I wanted to come in today a little bit early to make sure that I'm live and ready to party it up. And of course, how is everybody doing? How is everybody's Monday? Good morning, everybody. Everywhere online, whether you're coming in from LinkedIn, YouTube, and also on Facebook. Hello, hello. Just want to make sure, and that's why again, wanted to start early. And look, I am in. I am ready. All right. Yep. So going on LinkedIn, going on Facebook. Just my face is everywhere, I should say. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And of course, if you are watching this on replay, please hashtag replay. Of course, I know everybody has different schedules, everybody has different times, so there's no right or wrong when you come in and watch this. But of course, I wanted to welcome you here, OBM Assembly. This is our weekly live on Mondays, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm having such a hard time saying all of that lately. At 10 a.m. And of course, this is our business opposite. Of course, everything else in between that we talk about. And this month, we'll be talking about teams and collabing with your team. And specifically for today, we're going to be talking about ignite the spark of your team. You know, as us leaders in business, especially when we start, you know, contracting people or start having direct employees or however it may be, how do you ignite your team spark? Like, of course, in the beginning, it's exciting. You're like, yes, come on in. Welcome to my team. I love this. And of course, when things get into the nitty gritty, you start the project, things start coming up, and you're just kind of like, how do I get my team to just work together? And so, just as a disclaimer, we're going to be using words today like projects and stuff. It doesn't have to be specifically a project, it could be a to-do list, whatever it may be, but we're going to call everything projects just to make it all easier and I don't have to say 20 million words, in regards to what is going on. So, how a first tip that I have is how to ignite the spark in your team. The first thing I would love to say is, and I think, whatever things that I've read here or things that I've, done myself, one thing that I've really come into, I know that works is the first step is being compassionate. As a leader, you got to give yourself a self audit. Like, where am I in my leadership skills? Because that's where you kind of like, you can never blame it back out onto your team. Like, well, blah, blah didn't do it because it could easily just be like, well, you hired them. So you can't be blaming on them because you're the one who added them into the team. Self audit, be like, how compassionate am I in this situation, in this project that we're going into, the situations of my team, like how compassionate, where am I in my place as a leader to be able to lead and to be able to ignite the spark. So that's something you kind of have to really look into. Like, where am I? Sorry, I'm just going to look at my notes here. Where am I in my business? Where am I in my leadership skills to be able to ignite the spark in my team? And so, again, there's no right or wrong. There's no one's more better than the other. It's just more of who are you or where are you in your leadership skills. But of course, the second thing I would really love for you to look into is making sure that when you are igniting the spark in your team, that everybody understands the goals and the objectives of what you're trying to do within your project. Like, does everybody know where they lie? Like, does everybody know what the ultimate goal is and where they fit in that? Number two is and be open and transparent with communicating. Let them understand this is our goal, this is what you're doing, and this is how we're going to get there. And understanding that everybody knows where they fit within the team. And I think because sometimes people have stronger personalities than others. So people will be like, well, I know what I'm going to do. And then it's just like, yes, John, that is what you're going to do. But understand, Jan and everybody else in the team has a huge part in this particular project. Whether it seems like a small part or a big part, every single part is needed. And understanding and communicating that is a big part of starting within your team, and of course, starting within a project, or just really trying to reignite. Like, this is what's going on. I'm the leader. Please understand. And promote collabing with each other. Promote teamwork. Understanding that each step is very important for you guys to reach your goal, to complete this project. Understanding that, okay, where is, how are we going to collab as a team? Like, if step one needs help, where are the people that are assisting in step 10, so that can they help them? Can you specifically as a team leader help them and say, hey, this is what I can do, or this is how we can as a team can help you to solve step one, because without step one, step two, step three, and everything else doesn't get done, can't get done. And of course, when you delegate your tasks, do it effectively and say, hey, you again, you're being open to what you're communicating, you're encouraging collabing. So when you delegate the task and say, hey, John, this is step one, this is what you're going to do, but if you need help, please feel free to reach out to me, and or reach out to Jan and say, hey, I may need help with this, because again, communicating with each other, everybody knowing their task is a great way to start just igniting it all, and encourage accountability. I mean, how many of you have been given a specific project? Comment below, and say, hey, this is something I've been going through, or this is something I know that I've had, um, you know, in, let your team, each team member, own what they've done amazing and what they've done wrong, and it's okay. Again, things happen. Like, you have to, coming in back to your first step, and just being compassionate, say, hey, John, I see that things are getting delayed, or things are not being done, like, what's going on? And so let them take ownership of what's going on within their part of the project, and of course understand what's going on in their lives. And of course, things are going to happen you know um when somebody takes ownership of, okay, like, telling you, like, hey, I really messed up because this is going on. Resolve that problem, right away. Don't let it get held back, because in the end, feelings will always get into certain things, and when that comes in within the team member, or within between team members, you want to resolve things quickly, and also provide constructive feedback. And I think this is something where people only do it at the end, like, oh my God, things are just blowing up, and now you're just da da da. No, it just everything, every little milestone. You want to say, hey, John, you did such a great job in step one. I think it's been amazing. I would really think it'd be making it easier for you and the team if maybe you may do it this way. And people appreciate that more. It's like, wow, they recognize what I've done, and they know that I'm doing good and I'm trying. And of course, I know that I can make things easier for myself and of course for my team. It really brings that, like, wow, my leader, my boss, my client cares about the things that I'm doing, and about me, to be honest. And also, within that, when you give them constructive criticism, understand that there's going to be certain things that come in that might not be what your idea is. So be adaptable to different changes or different ideas that your team is coming into. So if the team is like, hey, boss or leader, I think this might be a good idea because when I did step one, I had some issues, and I think if I do it this way and make it easier, accept that. Like, there's so many ways to do something that I embrace the changes, adapt to, like, wow, that actually might be a really great idea. If you did that in step one, we might eliminate so many steps that we have at the end, and we can finish the project faster. So, like, and then I'm sure, again, I'm not the only one. I'm sure if you have been part of a team, there's been things that people have ideas that's probably been shut down. Embrace it. I'm not saying do every single idea, but embrace it to where it's just like, okay, that might not be the exact thing we want to do in this project, but I think you have a great start there. John, you have a great start in an idea that I think we might be able to implement in this project. Be open to changes, and of course, like I had mentioned a little bit back a couple minutes ago, is celebrating the success, the milestones that you have. So when you're giving, let's say if you're giving that constructive feedback, and you go, hey, John, you did such a great job, I think you do this, but I just want to let you know you were the one that gotten us to be early in this project, so we're going to celebrate tonight. We're going to, I don't know, whatever it may be, something that says, I value you and I understand the work that you're putting in, and I appreciate the work that you're putting in. And of course, promote that work-life balance. Like, who wouldn't? I mean, I think all of us coming in from the lovely C word, We understand that things can be done differently. There's no one road to doing things. Like we are adaptable. We're people. We can adapt to different things. That we know that things can be done. And so, promote that work life balance. Like if you know all of you have worked 16 hours a day each week this week, on Friday, let's have a half day, because things are not going to be done. That, I guess, necessarily, if it's something like a huge emergency, maybe not. But if it's something like can wait on Monday, let it wait on Monday. Let your team enjoy relaxation, because if your brain is completed or mushed up with so many things, you're not going to think straight. You're not going to be able to perform at your best. So, if you've been working 16-hour days every day this week, having a half day on a Friday is helpful. Promote that work life balance, because in the end, if your team is not well rested, if your team is not well, if your team is, sick or take calling days off, you're not going to get the project done anyway. So give people breaks. Understand, again, going back to step one, that being compassionate of who are you as a leader is the first thing that you want to do. Like, who am I as a leader? Like, am I a stickler? Am I just mean? Am I just shouting out things that should have been done because I wrote it on paper, but I didn't explain it to my team? No, you're a leader who is compassionate. You want to be a leader who is, understanding, and you want to be a leader that is strong enough to understand that changes are going to come. That doesn't mean be a softie. I'm not saying, oh, let everybody just do whatever they want and you carry the load. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is spread it evenly, understand where everybody is, but also understand that you are the leader, that you are going to be the one to have to maybe give a little bit percentage more, but that doesn't mean you take the whole burden. That doesn't mean you carry the whole team. It's not fair to you, and it's also not fair to your team. So, with all of that said, like, are you working with your team? Have you done a self audit for yourself? Are you a compassionate leader? Are you a go-getter leader? What kind of leader are you? So, comment below and just say, where am I coming in? I want to get my team ignited. Like, I want to get my team to be excited about the things that are coming up within the goals within my business, within, the company that I'm in. So if that's something that you're really looking into, you're like, how can I do that? How can I elevate my team to the next level? Please feel free to DM me BF and say, hey, or even comment on wherever platform you're in, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or also on LinkedIn. Please feel free to message me BF, because I'd love to chat with you all about it. And I think not a lot of people look into that. People are just always like, well, get somebody do it. Get somebody to do it. Like, delegate it, but not realizing, like, as the leader, like, how am I going to do that? Like, and that's how a lot of people, which unfortunately lose people in their team or have to start over or having great turnover. You don't want all of that. So DM me BF and say, hey, I want to I want to ignite the spark in my team. I want to get them going. I want them to work together. I want to work with my team, because obviously you hired them and you got them into this project or this job or whatever it may be. So let me know. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to, even if it's not about this, it's about just operations and everything else in between, please feel free to DM me and say, hey, I have a question about this, about hiring, blah, 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 and all that stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will see you all next week again here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on YouTube at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every Monday. You will see my face all over all the OBM Assembly platforms. All right, socials. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Talk soon. Bye.